Weddings are supposed to be about love, about new beginnings. But for me, that day shattered everything I thought I knew. I remember standing by the window of the bridal suite, watching our daughter laugh as she twirled in her wedding dress, radiant, glowing, the picture of everything I had once dreamed for her. I felt proud. I felt complete. Or, at least, I thought I did. What I didn't know then, what no mother should ever have to learn on her own child's wedding day, was that the man I had built my life with for over 25 years was living a lie. And I was about to uncover it, right there, between champagne toasts and slow dances. It started with a look, a glance that wasn't meant for me, but for her. And in that single moment, the day that was meant to be the happiest in our family's life turned into the one I would replay in my mind 1,000 times, asking myself, how did I not see it sooner? This is the story of how I found out my husband was having an affair at our daughter's wedding. And trust me, it's not the kind of betrayal you ever forget. They say hindsight is 20/20, but some signs don't make sense until it's too late. Looking back, there were hints, little things I had brushed off, like how distracted he'd been lately, how he took longer business trips than usual, how he'd started sleeping with his phone under his pillow. But that day, I was too caught up in the beauty of it all. Our daughter, Emma, walking down the aisle, her father by her side, both of them smiling. It was the smile that did it, but it wasn't for me. During the reception, I was walking back from the restroom when I saw them, him and her, standing a little too close near the edge of the garden. She was our wedding planner. Pretty, younger, charming in that polished kind of way. I thought she was just good at her job. But the way he looked at her, not like a coworker, not like a friend. It was the same way he used to look at me back when we were young and still full of dreams. There's a kind of silence that only betrayal can create, a ringing that drowns out everything else. I stood frozen for a moment. Part of me wanted to believe I was imagining it, that I was just tired, emotional, reading too much into nothing. But then I saw it, her hand brushing against his chest. Quick, casual, familiar. And the look in his eyes. It wasn't confusion or discomfort. It was recognition. In that moment, something inside me broke. Quietly, like glass cracking under pressure. The music, the laughter, the clinking of glasses. It all blurred around me. I felt like a ghost at my own daughter's wedding, watching my life unravel from the sidelines. And the worst part? I couldn't say anything. I couldn't ruin Emma's day. So I smiled. I posed for photos. I gave a toast. And all the while, I was dying inside. I told myself I'd confront him later, but the truth has a way of pushing its way into the light. The reception carried on. First dances, speeches, cake cutting. Everything went perfectly on the surface. But inside, I was unraveling. I watched him across the room, laughing with guests, his hand resting so naturally on the small of my back when people were watching. But then she appeared again. The wedding planner, fixing the table settings that didn't need fixing, hovering near him just a little too often. Sharing glances they thought no one noticed. I noticed, and I wasn't the only one. Later that evening, as the night wore down and guests began to leave, my sister pulled me aside. Her voice was low. Careful. I know this isn't the time, she said, but something's going on with him and that woman. My stomach dropped. I wanted to scream, to cry, but I just nodded. Because deep down, I already knew. There's no right time to ask someone if they betrayed you. But there is a moment when you just can't hold it in anymore. After the last guest left and Emma had driven off with her new husband, I walked out to the garden where he was gathering our things. The string lights overhead flickered softly, casting long shadows. Was it worth it? I asked. He turned slowly. What do you mean? He said too quickly. Don't insult me with lies. Not tonight. I saw the shift in his face, the way people look when they're caught and they know there's no way out. He didn't deny it, didn't fight, just stood there, silent, guilty. I saw you, I said, and so did others. There was a pause. Then he sighed. It didn't mean anything, he muttered. You don't accidentally give someone the same look you used to give your wife. That line hung between us. Heavy, final. There's a kind of pain that doesn't scream. It just settles quietly inside you and stays. We didn't fight. We didn't scream. There was no dramatic scene, no thrown drinks or shattered glasses. Just the quiet disintegration of a foundation I thought was unshakable. He tried to explain, to backpedal, to make excuses. But what do you say to someone you've betrayed at their most vulnerable moment? I didn't want his reasons. I wanted my reality back, and I knew I could never have it again. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was pretending everything was still okay. For our daughter. That night, I lay awake in bed, alone. I stared at the ceiling and thought about all the times I doubted myself, all the moments I'd excused the red flags because I loved him, because I trusted him. And now, I was left with silence. People think heartbreak ends with a goodbye, but the real pain starts after. The days that followed were a blur of numb conversations, canceled anniversary plans, of sleeping on opposite sides of a house that suddenly felt enormous. Eventually, I told Emma. She cried. She was angry. At him, at me, at the unfairness of it all. But she understood why I hadn't said anything on her wedding day. I just wanted you to have your moment, I told her. I didn't want my heartbreak to take that from you. For the first time in a long time, I let myself fall apart so I could begin to put myself back together. Therapy helped. Journaling helped. But mostly time and women. Other women, friends who had been through it. Women who reminded me, this does not define you. This is just a chapter, not the ending. In the ashes of betrayal, I found something unexpected. Myself. It's been over a year now. We separated. Quietly, respectfully. And though the grief still lingers like smoke in a long, empty room, I breathe easier now. I've learned that forgiveness isn't always about letting someone back in. Sometimes it's just about letting go of the pain they left behind. He broke something in me. But in that breaking, I found strength I didn't know I had. So if you're listening to this, maybe alone, maybe healing from your own heartbreak, I want you to know something. You are not broken. You are becoming. And whatever was lost doesn't mean all is gone. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to share your thoughts below. You're not alone. And your voice might just be what another woman needs to hear today. Don't forget to subscribe for more real stories told from the heart.